Yeah, you can see what's going on.
Good idea.
Good evening, everyone. I call to order the City Council regular session, October 1, 2018, 6 o'clock p.m., City Municipal Building. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Janet, take the roll call, please.
Alderpersons Goodhue.
Here.
Clum.
Here.
Marty.
Here.
Panaleo.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
Hanson has been excused. Mayor Hilson.
Here.
Officer Schley.
Here.
Street Superintendent Barry.
Here.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Approval or correction of minutes for the meeting held on September 17, 2018, regular session.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions or comments? Janet, take the vote, please.
Marty.
Yes.
Panaleo.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Goodhue.
Yes.
Clum.
Yes.
Thank you, Janet. Petitions and communications, citizen comment. Discussion of any topic brought before the council during petitions and communications. Item A, update on treatment court, Judge Wood and Sheriff Woolen.
Thank you. Where would you like me to stand, Mr. Mayor?
Wherever you like.
Right there in the middle of the floor.
Wherever you're comfortable.
I'm fine with this. So thank you for the opportunity to be on the agenda tonight. I will say that I'm joined by Sheriff Woolen and by District Attorney Tanya Bonnet. And we're here tonight to talk to you about the Adams County Treatment Court Program, which is going to be celebrating its 1-year anniversary shortly. It started last October. We had our first treatment court session in October. It was a culmination of a 2-year planning process. The treatment court program is part of the evidence-based decision-making initiative, which has been very popular in criminal justice circles in recent years. And the idea being that study what works and then follow what works, implement what works across the board. So the treatment court program is specifically focused on individuals who have high risk and high need. What that means is we are targeting the intervention of this program to individuals that have a high risk for criminal activity because of their addiction, and they have a high need of treatment because of that addiction. So individuals who meet that high risk, high need criteria are the candidates we're looking for. We're not a program for individuals who commit violent offenses, whether it be abuse of spouses or of children or sexual assault, anything like this. This is dedicated strictly to the high risk, high need population and individuals that their addiction is driving their criminal activity. So individuals who have obviously drug related crimes and individuals who have property crimes that are committed to support their drug habit. They go through 5 phases. As they go from one phase to the next phase, they have to meet certain benchmarks, including sustained periods of sobriety. During each phase, they're subject to random drug testing twice a week. One of my colleagues will talk more about that. They're subject to intensive treatment that they have to meet in the early stages of the program. The treatment is more intensive than it is as they go through the program, obviously. They meet with the court and the treatment court team, which consists of my 2 colleagues here tonight, along with the public defender, the director of Health and Human Services, a treatment provider from Health and Human Services, a representative from probation and parole, and the treatment court coordinator, who is the individual who has the most active role with the participants and really is the centerpiece of the intervention that we offer. During the weekly court sessions, they are held to account by me and the team members in court. If they have a good week and they've met all of the goals that we've set for them and they've met the rules that we have on them, then they are rewarded. And the reward can be as simple as a pat on the back from the judge telling them, job well done. And for individuals who are used to an adversarial experience in court, it means a lot to hear the judge and hear the district attorney and the sheriff tell them, hey, you did a good job, we're proud of you. That's part of the experience. If they do not have a good week, then they're subject to what we call a sanction. And the sanction can range anywhere from doing a writing assignment on what they did wrong, to researching a topic and having to present in court the following week on that, to uncompensated community service, all the way up to having to spend time in jail. The jail time is the most significant consequence that they would meet. Ultimately, if they do not do well in the program, then they will be terminated from the program and be returned to the conventional criminal justice system. I can tell you that we've had 2 individuals who have been terminated from the program, and both of those individuals are now in the Wisconsin prison system. The other participants have had good weeks and bad weeks, but the good weeks have by and large outweighed the bad weeks, and we've had some really good successes with our participants. We haven't had any graduates yet because start to finish, if everyone meets every benchmark at the earliest possible time, it's going to take 14 months to complete the program. As you might expect, individuals, especially the population we're dealing with, do not meet all the benchmarks at the earliest possible moment. It's a work in progress. But we've had some really good successes with individuals who haven't been able to hold down jobs previously are now holding down jobs. We recently celebrated with 2 participants who had gotten driver's licenses, one of them for the first time ever. Those steps are their progress towards becoming fully functioning citizens, individuals who follow the law, who stay clean and sober, who have jobs, they're supporting themselves, they're supporting their families, they're supporting the community, individuals that you'd want to have as a neighbor. And that is what we're aiming at. That's why we're here tonight. We're very passionate about this. All of us believe in this program, and that's why we're spreading the word, talking about what this program is really about. It is not just some kind of liberal, feel-good program that is all social worker based or something like that. This is an intensive intervention, and I think any one of our participants would tell you that their experience in the court, the treatment court, is much more intensive than what they would have experienced in the past in traditional criminal court. And this program is endorsed by our very conservative Republican Attorney General, Brad Schimmel, who recently said it was one of the, if not the best thing that he's seen, development he's seen in the criminal justice system in his many years as a prosecutor. It's been funded by our conservative state legislature, our conservative governor. The funding, the primary funding for the program comes from state government. State government is obviously controlled by conservative Republicans. They believe in this program because they see that it works. We believe in this program because we see that it works. We're excited about it, and we're here to talk about it. And with that, I don't want to steal any more thunder from my colleagues, and I'll turn it over to Sheriff Woolen.
Thank you, Deadwood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm just going to speak a little bit about the treatment court from a public safety standpoint. One thing right off the bat is, Judge kind of touched on it, is that this isn't a slap on the wrist, this isn't a get out of jail free card. This is a much more intense program than what they would normally go through the regular process. In the regular, traditional process, if they were sentenced to a short jail sentence, received extended supervision beyond that, their supervision would include being assigned a probation agent who they would see roughly every 4 to 6 weeks. They might have a home visit in there, they might have a drug screening in there. With this, they're seeing initially in the first phase They're coming to court every week. They're seeing their probation agent every week. They're seeing the treatment coordinator every week. Their treatment provider every week, plus group sessions beyond that, and then also then the random drug testing at a minimum of twice a week. And at that point too, I'd want to say that one of the partners that hasn't been mentioned so far is the Gunderson Mountain View Memorial Hospital. They've been great partners in this program. They've been actually provided us a site to do the drug testing, which is a urine test. So they provide a staff member who observes the sample, as well as the facilities to do it. So they've been providing that to the courts for free up until this point. So I'd also like just to say thank you to them for also being a partner in what we're doing. So like I said, is that it's much more intense supervision than they would normally have. They're not only answering even the court process, they're not just answering to the judge or the jury, or answering questions from one attorney at a time, the prosecutor or the defense attorney. They're actually, there's 8 or 9 of us at the table that they're answering, we're all firing off questions or comments and things, so they're answering to a lot more people, there's more eyes on them. But again, we're going to continue to utilize the traditional process. This isn't a fit for all cases, so we will continue to take information, we'll develop cases, we'll make arrests, we'll execute warrants, we'll be, people will be being sent to prison. This is just one more tool for us to address the drug issues that we're seeing within our community, and as the judge already touched on, we're already seeing some measurable successes with our participants. We've kept our participants up until this point at 5, because this is our first year. We identified that we wanted to work with a small group from the beginning for that first year to make sure that we're doing it right. This is something new to all of us. So again, we want to make sure that we're doing that right, and now that we're at that year mark, we're looking at expanding it, so we hope to have about 15 participants in the program. Our court is a hybrid, so it's not just drug court, it's a alcohol and drug treatment court. So we're addressing both of those addictions through the court. Currently our participants are all drug addictions, but I don't know if anybody has any questions about anything.
It
When
does
do you
treat
do it?
alcohol.
I'm sorry, I was just wondering, when do you do the treatment court? Do you have it set for a certain day, or?
Good question. Treatment court is every Tuesday at 9:30, and that is a public session, so everyone is welcome to attend that. You can see the court. We actually encourage people, citizen members, to come in and observe the court. We're also looking for, with this being the 1 year coming up on this, one thing that we're encouraging the participants is to reevaluate who they're associating with and encouraging pro-social activities. So we've had a number of people that have come to the court for some time, and they've actually interacted with the participants, met with them outside of court to do some different activities, like one played tennis for the first time with one of the citizen members that came and met with her. Another one does, will meet and take walks with the participants just to be able to have some interaction with a positive role model for them. So we have an 8:30 is a staffing, but at 9:30 is, and that's not open to the public, but the 9:30 court session is open to the public, so we welcome you to attend. One other thing that I normally share too is just the impacts of the program. 2 things I'd like to share now is that one was that talking to the chief of police from Greenfield outside of Milwaukee. They have it's a diversion program. It's not the same as our treatment court, but it kind of puts it in context. They had a heroin addict who admitted to committing 3 burglaries a day to support his habit. And so their program, their initial treatment program that they operate is 90 days. So that's 270 crimes that were prevented, 270 less victims within their community by addressing this from a different way. We're looking for similar effects here, as we want a long-lasting change in the person to get them back to being a contributing member of our community. I think that's what everybody would want. And the other thing that just to share is that we had a recent graduate from the Sauk County Treatment Court attend, and he shared with us that he was addicted to meth for 3 years. During that time, he had jobs off and on, was able to hold different jobs throughout that time, but his last 3 months, he wasn't able to hold a job, so he turned to crime and racked up 22 felony charges in 3 months on different property crimes, just to support his habit, his addiction to meth. He entered into the program. And it was 20 months that he was in the program. He's been clean and sober for about 2 years now. That's 2 years he hasn't been committing crimes, 2 years he's been a productive member of the community. During that time, he was divorced. His wife, they're now at least back together. They're not remarried, but they're back together. That's good for the family, for the kids, because that's another issue that we see within the community. And that how it relates also to Adams County, some of those pending cases were Adams County cases. So again, that's another success that's relevant. He shared when he visited with us too that the person he was today wouldn't even want to talk to the person he was before he started the program. That he sees that much of a difference in himself. So I think I probably stole some of the DA's thunder, but I'll turn it over to the DA.
Thank you, Sheriff
Thank you.
Woolen.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us. I just wanted to echo and tell you from my point of view why I think the treatment court is a really good additional tool in our box for fighting crime. I have been a prosecutor now for about 13 years, and when I got into it, I was a very traditional choices and consequences kind of person. You do something wrong, you get a consequence. You break the law, you go to jail. And what I've learned over my 10 years of prosecutors, it's just not that simple. When we arrest people, convict them, send them to jail, it just makes us feel good in our gut, but it doesn't necessarily fix the problem. So I've learned that when I see people coming back over and over, why can we send you to jail and you don't stop? You know, it's because what we do to people from the outside doesn't necessarily change what's going on in the inside, and it's what's on the inside that drives people, the drug addicts particularly, to commit crimes. And I don't think that anybody wakes up and says, I want to become a heroin addict. I want to get hooked on meth. I want to be a burglar for the rest of my life. That's just not how it really works. So when I think about that, I think we can lock people up and that'll immobilize them for a while. We can put them in jail and that'll keep them sober by our choice, not theirs, for a while. But when they get out, they're still probably just basically the same person that they've always been. So this program is designed to really change who people are. Sometimes it's your upbringing, sometimes it's learned behavior, sometimes it's masking some trauma that you've survived. And so we're trying to help people figure out what it is that led them to choose drugs, and it's again just for people who are committing crimes because of that drug addiction. So we don't want people who just like to be criminals, right? We want people who, if they weren't on drugs, would be like us. Everybody is on probation in addition to being in the court. If that's not clear, everybody's also on regular probation, so it's like a plus. Just about everybody has started our program with a jail sentence or an inpatient treatment stay. In addition to the walks and the clapping and the attaboys, I think everybody on our team has been sanctioned to jail at some point over the course of their participation for usually dishonesty. We preach to them that when you're a drug addict, you're probably going to have a relapse. You're probably going to use and violate the rules. But if you're honest about it, that's how we start to actually affect change. And so if we can get people to use and be honest and deal with it, then it kind of decreases the reasons why they use. I wanted to also say that as the district attorney, I have an absolute veto on anybody who's nominated to the court. So we get nominations from a number of different places. It could be me, it could be public defenders, it could be human services, it could be a probation agent. And they'll nominate somebody and then we assess them to see if they fit that high-risk, high-need category that we need for our participants so that we know we're using our resources on the right population. And if they make it, then the coordinator emails me and says, do you have any reason to veto this person? I haven't had to do that yet, but that's like, if we knew as prosecutor and law enforcement that somebody was maybe under investigation for dealing in our community, we would want them on the court. This is not for dealers. This is not for people who are feeding the drug problem. This is for people who are victims of the drug problem. So, and that's where, you know, we have Sheriff Woolen on the team every week, but I communicate with both the city and the town of Rome to say, hey, I've got this nominee. Do you have any information I need to know to assess the veto? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was thinking I wanted to say while I was standing back there. Did I miss anything important to think of? Okay, are there any other questions for me while we're here?
Sounds like a good program.
Thank you.
Is there a mentorship program with this that you guys are doing? or-
In a couple of different ways, there's the, as Sheriff talked about, we are trying to engage members of the community to get to know our participants and introduce them to pro-social activity. But then there's also a more formal peer mentorship program that we don't have it actually implemented yet, but we're hoping to make that part of our program.
As your
If-
candidates start to graduate,
Exactly.
that's kind of what I was asking.
Exactly. And we do have people in the community who we know are longtime recovered drug addicts who we think we could tap as peer mentors. We just haven't actually put that in place formally yet. Did you guys want to add anything on that?
What kind of age group do you have?
Right now, we're fairly young. I'd say, is our youngest 20, 21? Is he 20? 20 to 30, 28, 29. I mean, I think that's our span right now. I think all but one of our participants have been parents. That was something that we looked at, like what is the lasting impact you can have if some of this is learned behavior and generational, if you have people with kids and you stop that cycle. It's not a prerequisite by any means, but it just happens to be something that our participants have common. Any other questions?
Well, we would love to have updates and let us know how things are going with the program.
We'd love to come back and talk more about it. Thank you for having us.
Sounds like a very worthwhile program.
On the county website, is that program up there? So, I mean, people can actually see what, it entails? Nothing
No,
like that?
it's not, I don't think it's advertised on or posted on the county website, so, no.
But we did put the word out to like the defense bar, for example, in the probation department, so they all know that it's there and they can get the participant list referrals.
Wasn't it in the paper? Didn't they have a write-up about it in the paper?
I think
Like maybe
so,
when you
Bill.
first started it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm working on one for the first anniversary.
You guys got all,
Thank you.
thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you very much.
We appreciate
Have
that.
us again.
Thank you.
Thank you, District Attorney.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for having us.
Okay, report of standing committees, Finance, Planning, Personnel Committee. Everything's moving along, so that's a good thing.
Does anyone have any questions or?
Does anyone have any questions on anything? Okay. Okay, report of city officers, myself. Well, things seem to be doing well within the city. Our buildings that are going up, the fire station is progressing nicely. And Aspirus is coming right along. And that's about it. I think
Friendship Connection too just celebrated their
Yeah.
1 year
1 year, that Friendship Connection on Main Street there,
from the fire.
on fire. Right,
That
yep.
was the day of the fire.
So things seem to be doing well. That's kind of a nice thing. And I know you hear this every time, you hear it twice a month. But please, everyone, pay attention to the stop signs within the city and continue to stop for them. It's very important, especially with the children being back in school. Watch out for the children getting on and off the school buses in the morning and the afternoon, and give them a break. So that's about all that I have. Okay, Police Chief Department update. We have Officer Schley.
Presented a report by Chief Lobby. First thing was meeting and training attended. During the month of September, Chief Lobby attended many city council, various city committee meetings. Myself, I attended Unified Tactical Instructor Update. This is intended to certify me to keep my certifications in firearms, emergency vehicle operations, and vehicle contacts. Now I'm taking over the lead as the in-house instructor for these topics and instructions. In the past, Rome PD has been instructing the Adams officers for the past year. With that, I also transitioned the city officers to the 9mm Glock pistols versus then we traded in the .45 caliber Glock pistols and returned the vendor for credit for the firearms. Calls for service, we handled 132 calls for service and issued 34 citations and 14 warnings during the month. With that, I'd like to remind the citizens, if it's a call for service or you need an officer, to call the Sheriff's Department dispatch, because there's not always somebody in the station to answer your phone calls, so make sure they call the 339-3304 number, so they can get an officer promptly and not have to call and not have somebody answer the phone. Other department activities announcements, effective September 28, 2018, Officer Schmecker resigned position at the police department, and Chief Lobby working on filling those openings with part-time officers. That's all we have.
Okay, thank you, Officer Sly. Okay, Street Superintendent Barry, department update.
Just a couple things. Sewer jetting is still ongoing. It's been going pretty good. We've found a couple of issues in a couple of the sewer mains that we'll have to be dealing with. Big thing today, Fenner and Advantage Plumbing finally did the water and sewer tie-in for the Aspirus building. It was kind of interesting with all of the rain we've had in the groundwater. The sewer lateral, they had to dig down almost 10 feet, and you would have sworn we had a main break. The groundwater was bubbling out of the ground so bad down there. When I first saw it, it's like, what's broke down there? But it's just that much groundwater, and it just bubbled up. Probably next week we'll be bringing the leaf back up, getting it ready to go. People are starting to do some raking with the temperatures we've had. Leaves are going to start falling. Once we have enough leaves to make one good round and at least fill it up, we'll start leaf vac. And once it starts, we're going to be nonstop for quite a while. Mowing does continue with this rain. Things are still growing. They hopefully start slowing down here now, but along with that, we're going to have leaves that we're going to have to keep chopped up and take care of that. So, the park bathrooms will probably be closing this week, probably with temperatures. It's time to get those closed down. I'm going to leave the tennis courts up for a little bit yet until temperature really gets down. I have seen people over there using them, so.
Okay.
That's
What I
good.
got for
Good,
right now.
good, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barry. Okay, moving on to new and unfinished business. Item number 1. Discussion recommendation relating to loan for TIF projects, Pierce Street Utility Extension, East State Street Water Main Loop, WWTP Facility, Water Utility Upgrades, and GIS Mapping Project. Maybe Julie, can you,
We spoke about this at finance, and we recommended to go with Royal Bank for the loan.
in the amount of, was it 945,000?
Yes.
That's a 5-year loan,
Yes, at the 2.75%.
okay?
Are we looking for a motion for that?
Yes.
Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to acquire the financing for the TIF projects from Royal Bank.
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Panaleo,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Marty.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Okay, approve municipal building cleaning. We need to table this. We need a motion to table that, please.
I'll make a motion to table it.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay, we'll do it later. Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Robinson,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Marty.
Didn't we table this last month already?
Yes.
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 Panaleo. Marty?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. And yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Okay, item number 3. Approve purchase of water meters.
I'll make a motion to purchase the water meter for the new fire station. I'll second that.
Okay, any questions or comments? Janet, take the vote, please.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Clum,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Panaleo,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Okay, item number 4. Approve transfer of funds to certificate of deposits, Burt Morris accounts.
At finance, we went over these.
The 3 accounts.
Right.
Yeah.
And sorry, I don't have it written. Janet, can you give me the motion, please, that we, the recommendation we had?
Right. It was the recommendation to transfer the 2 Burt Morris Park maintenance and the other one, maintenance and capital. Those 2, transfer those for a 3-year CD and the Kenwood project for a 6-month CD. Into CDs.
That's due
From the
to,
money market.
yeah, the Kenwood is due to us needing that money somewhere in June or July of next year for the projects that's already been scheduled, but at least get some additional funds coming into that account prior to.
Make money on the CDs, yes.
And those were,
We suggested that the Kenwood would we'd be using Community Bank for that CD, and then the other 2 accounts would be using Royal Bank for the 3-year.
And the 3-year ones were Royal Bank, and the 6-month one would,
It's Kenwood from Community Bank.
that would be the Adams Community Bank. I'll make that motion that we transfer those into those CDs.
Second.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Clum,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Panaleo,
yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Goodhue.
Yes.
Thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Okay, item number 5. Approve ETF enrollment for combined health and dental plan.
I'll make a motion to approve the ETF enrollment to combine the health insurance and the dental plan.
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions or comments?
And there was a savings with this, right?
There was a savings with it, I believe, yes.
There is to combine, insurance actually decreased this year, and combining the 2, which they now offer, is more of a savings than having a separate health and a separate dental plan.
Annual savings of $2,771.28.
That's for the dental part of it. The health was 19, almost
Oh, yeah.
20,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge
It
savings.
was a huge savings.
Thanks for the research on that.
Okay. Okay, we had it, we had a second. For Janet, take the vote, please.
Marty,
Yes.
Panaleo,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Clum.
Yes.
Thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Item number 6. Introduce, adopt resolution 2018-11R relating to deputy clerk / treasurer salary and benefits.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2018-11R for the salary of the deputy clerk treasurer. and benefits.
Do I have a second?
I'll second
Okay, any questions or comments?
I just have a question. Now, we're giving this 50 cents now, and then personnel is doing research to give another 1.5% come January?
Right now, we're looking at the idea that she's been on probation and she's done really well.
Right.
So that's what 50 cents were for.
Right.
Okay, so at the end of the year, then she will go into the exact same position that everybody else will be getting the
Okay.
1.5%.
All right. I don't want to get off the agenda, but I have issues with that whole deal. That's all I have.
Okay.
All right, my question fell under the holidays. On the, it says there'll be 10 holidays paid out as follows: New Year's Day, Memorial, Independence Day, Labor Day, 2 floating holidays, Thanksgiving Day after Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, 2 personal days deducted from sick time accrual. I count 12. So I just want to make sure that it's supposed to be 10.
The two personal
two-
days.
yeah, the
So
two
that should be
personal
somewhere else,
separate
it shouldn't be in that
because
spot.
the 2 personal days
Get deducted.
are deducted out of their sick time,
Okay,
what
so
they've
they can-
accrued,
they can
so
use
it's out of their
that
own
as
use.
holiday. Okay.
Right.
All right, that was just my only concern, because it didn't seem right in that spot, there was only being 10 paid days.
Okay.
I want to make sure location was proper.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Panaleo,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Clum,
Yes.
Marty.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Item number 7, approve issuance of operator's license.
I'll make a motion to approve the operator's license.
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions or comments? Janet, take the vote, please.
Robinson,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Clum,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Panaleo.
Yes.
Thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Okay, item number 8, approve issuance of temporary Class B special picnic license, 9th of Columbus chili dinner.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Well, where is this supposed to be at, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out. I saw that it had a, for on State Street. Is that where it's located at? Where
At the
they're having this?
church.
Because this is supposed to be a fundraiser for the flooding, for flood victims, right?
This is their annual chili dinner that they have every year.
Oh, okay. And that's at the
Night.
Knights of Columbus.
Behind the old cat.
Behind the old Catholic church.
Oh,
in
behind the old Catholic church,
in that
okay.
community
I
thing.
guess I didn't realize that's where they met, okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Clum,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Panaleo,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Item number 8, approve the payment of the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Clum,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Panaleo,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Goodhue.
Yes.
Thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So move.
I'll second it.
Okay, Janet, take the vote, please.
Marty,
Yes.
Panaleo,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Goodhue,
Yes.
Clum.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Thank you, everyone, for being